I cannot wake up today. Today we have day 12 of the Maladaptive Daydreaming inspired Inktober prompt list, where we discuss the prompt and how it relates to maladaptive daydreaming while I doodle. And I take back everything I said about the previous ones being hard. This one is photograph. And this one has been such a pain in the ass because I don't talk about my characters or world or plots. So I wasn't sure how to relate that back. So it's actually been bugging me all day. I put off making the video for a while because I couldn't think of anything to say or draw. The other ones I just kind of wing it, but this one, it gave me a time, man. And I still don't have a good idea. I really don't. So we're going with a bit of a reach here. Yes, it is our stick figure man again. So I actually kind of settled on the idea of loops, being stuck in a daydream loop. And what that is the experience where you replay the same thing over and over again for some length of time. It can last for a few minutes, it can last for hours, days, weeks, it can even last for months. And that's when, everybody gets stuck in little loops from time to time. But every once in a while, you'll get stuck hard and fast in a loop where you are replaying the same scene or the same storyline over and over and over and over and over. When it comes to like an entire storyline, some people do this by default. I wouldn't call those loops, I guess. Not in the same sense that I mean them here anyway. When you replay the same plot over and over and over again, but it's still a complete and fleshed out story. You're just like rewatching the same movie over and over and over. I don't know, maybe that counts. I wouldn't really put it in the same category because it has complete features, of a story or something. I'm talking more about the ones that are a singular scene, probably only a couple of minutes long, maybe even just a few seconds, and the plot as a whole can't move on until they are resolved. So you still have a much bigger story going on around them, but for some reason you're stuck on this scene. And it is incredibly frustrating. I have been stuck in a 16-second loop for like 4 months. Not at the moment, this is in the past. And I don't know if a non-maladaptive daydreamer can even imagine what that's like. I'm not even sure if all maladaptive daydreamers can. I think a good amount can. But this might not be something that happens to everybody, or at least not as severely to everybody. Yeah, just the same few seconds over and over and over. And each time it happens, what are you doing? In a lot of cases, you're changing minor things, minor details, trying to make the scene play out properly, the way it was supposed to, or even perfectly. I don't know. In my case, it doesn't really feel like I'm trying to perfect anything. It feels a lot more like I'm trying to get it right. It's not so much like, that's not the way I want this to happen, or that's not realistic enough, or that's not whatever. The feeling behind it is actually, for me anyway, a lot more close to, no, that's just not how it happened. There is a true way to play it out that has nothing to do with how I guess you think it should go. It has to do with how it was always meant to go. That's what I feel like anyway. And so you can get stuck, or I can get stuck. I don't want to generalize too much here on a character's posture or their smirk or the inflection in their voice for a very long time. Because what you're doing is trying to capture that moment, not the way it should be, but the way it is, like you are seeing it wrong or remembering it wrong almost. Every experience that we talk about can't really be generalized because everybody's going to go through it differently. So I know there's at least a couple of you out there who are like, no, not really. That's okay. Put it in the comments how you experience it, because I know that there's a lot more ways than the way I'm describing, but I don't personally experience them. So, for all the other viewers, go ahead, pop that down there, maybe. But yeah, that's the relationship that I'm drawing between maladaptive daydreaming and photograph. And I know it's a stretch, but I couldn't come up with anything better because I am not going to show you a photograph from my barricosm. They do have them though. So we've got our little guy changing by millimeter every time for as many times as it takes. If you've never been stuck in a loop, I mean, bless you. What did you do right in life? The little ones aren't so bad. But the big ones that you get stuck in for weeks, they are almost as bad as a block. Not quite as scary as a block, but just as far as how frustrating and distressing that they can be. I'd put them in the same wheelhouse. Wow, this looks like some sort of Halloween thing. Which, I mean, it's October, why not? I did not intend for that though. It's just drawn a stick figure moving slightly with every repetition. There's probably a better way to do that. Who cares? He's festive. So wow, yeah, this one's a difficult one for me, but I think the connection stands, right? I think that works. A bit of a reach, but loops and photographs trying to capture that moment in time as it is. That's my connection. That's what we're going with. Go ahead and put your experience being stuck in a daydream loop down in the comments. I know they're a bad time. I know. It happens to the best of us. Or if you've never been stuck in a loop, put that down there too. Because now I'm kind of wondering if it's like a universal thing that all maladaptive daydreamers experience. So, anyway, that's it. Draw yourself something, maybe an actual photograph. Tag it Maddtober, and I'll see you tomorrow.